Hello again everybody! So today I'm back and tons of stuff has changed again. As I mentioned in my last video, I've got a new camera which I'm using now, so the quality looks much better and I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with a more portable camera. There's another couple of videos I'm planning for the next week or so, partly related to my job, that I think are going to be really interesting, that I couldn't do otherwise, but now I've got this new camera, I'm really looking forward to giving it a go and trying some new exciting stuff. So I hope you're looking forward to those kind of things coming up. Today, I've decided to do something I've not done in a long time. It's been about 3 months since I last did one of these videos, and I know that they're one of the most popular things on BookTube is book hauls. So I've obviously had 2 to 3 months since my last video doing this, so I should have quite a lot of stuff that I've bought. But I've actually been a good boy, and there's so many books here and on my other bookshelves that I've had sat on the shelf for 3-4 years that I've never read, and it's just pointless. So I'm trying to read more of those rather than buy new books. But obviously, working in a bookshop, there's always so many new things coming in, so much exciting new stuff that I wouldn't think I was going to get, or that I'm just unexpectedly finding, and it's hard to say no all the time. I've done well, I've said no more times than I thought, but I've had to cave on some things, and they are the things I'm going to show you today. So the first thing is probably the weirdest stuff on this list. It's these 2 books. So they're part of a new series by Penguin, 70th commemorative anniversary of the dropping of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. So, as you know, I'm a bit of a sucker for nice little editions and collector's things, and these were $1.99 each. 2 really nice books about atomic weapons and particularly Hiroshima, and appealed to my history degree, appealed to my collector's-ness, and they're just beautiful little books, and for 99p each with my discount, why not do it? So, Hiroshima by John Hersey, this is like the definitive on-the-ground history of the dropping of the atomic bomb. So it follows 5 people from Hiroshima in the immediate aftermath of the bomb and a couple of weeks that follow. It was originally like a journalist piece, but it's been published as a book and it's incredible. The most graphic, emotive writing I've ever read, but it's so, I feel it's one of those books important that people read because it's an important topic, it's just so well done. This one I probably wouldn't have got normally, Gods of Metal. It's a 2012 article by this guy called Eric Schlosser, and it's about modern reactions to nuclear weapon, and especially protests against nuclear power and nuclear weapons. And it's not the kind of thing I'd normally read, but because it came in this kind of set with these, gave it a read, and it's again really interesting. So really nice collector's edition stuff that I could not resist when I saw it, to be honest. So next up, this is a book I have been looking forward to for quite a long time. So if anyone's not read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, it's essentially the geekiest, best book of its type ever. It's basically about a really elusive, enigmatic video game creator who creates this online world, and once he dies, he creates this quest through this video game world to try and unlock his real world fortune. So straight away, it's like my dream for something like that to happen. And this follows a main character and a couple of his friends as they embark on this quest, and it's just amazing. Ready Player One is amazing. It's been released into a film, and everyone that's read it loved it, and it was the author's only book at the time, until now. So he's released this, Armada, which as you can tell has got a very similar geeky video game style. It's modelled after, well, it covers essentially very Space Invader-ish. It's just really geeky again. It looks like it follows the same line. This one is about a guy who, basically aliens invade the Earth, and he, through a video game, has to defend against this invasion. Basically it's like drones, and the idea that playing a video game can train you to pilot a drone and combat aliens in the case of an invasion. And in this case, the main character does just that. And it's really interesting. If it's got the same kind of style and lots of geeky in references that Ready Player One did, and it'll be brilliant, and I'm really excited to get cracking on that. Along a similar kind of geeky video gamey line, I actually read this recently. So it's called Death by Video Game by Simon Parkin. Again, this is kind of a journalistic expose of video games and what they are and what they mean in the modern world. What it does really well is, I picked it up because it's about video games, and that's one of the other big loves in my life, and What I would say about it is that it's really relevant for people that don't even particularly like video games. It talks a lot about society and the role of art and culture in getting over loss, in happiness, in comfort, in so many different things. And it distinctly applies it to video games, which I thought was fascinating. But it's just so human in the way it does it, that it really covers all these human emotions and feelings and problems, and how video games can deal with that, and the role video games play. It's just really interesting, and I think if anyone's got any interest in modern culture and how it fits with humanity and what we're doing, give that a read. I loved it. Thought it was really, really good, really interesting. Not much stuff written on this kind of thing, and really enjoyed that. So the geekiness has carried on for sure. One of the other books I've got, again, it's very similar kind of lines, is The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. So this is brand new. I think this comes out today or yesterday, depending when I upload this. And for anyone that's watched my channel before, I've talked about Patrick Ness more than this, the book, so many times, because it's brilliant, it's really clever, it deals with a lot of real world issues about technology and where the world's going, and it's just brilliant. This, I don't know as much about. Essentially, I think that the main character in this isn't the guy that saves the world. He's one of those guys that's just around while other people are saving the world. It kind of takes away from the normal hero narrative, and the main character is just a normal person. And I think that's really clever. That never seems to happen in books. And I've not read it yet. I'm intrigued to see how he balances that with keeping it interesting, because the reason we like books about heroes and the people solving the problems is because that's interesting and that's what we want to read about. This is different, and I trust Patrick Ness massively. People I know that have read this loved it, and again, I'm really excited to give it a go. And I mean, look how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful cover, coloured page edges, because, you know, sucker for that. But all in all, I think it's just going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to that. It's what I've been waiting for quite a while. Lastly then, is something, this is different. Actually, I say that, it isn't. The rest of us... Lastly, this one's actually quite different. No, it's not. Ignore me. It's very similar again. It deals with a lot of societal issues and questions about what the modern world is, what the modern world could be, about human relationships and how they fit together. It's fascinating. It's The Heart Goes Last by Margaret Atwood. So I've never actually read any Margaret Atwood before. Tons of people rave about Onyx and Crake and about The Handmaid's Tale. So many of her books are just really interesting. The Blind Assassin, there's tons that people say are really interesting, and I think it's stuff that I would like. This appealed to me because of the concept. I heard about the concept before I knew it was Margaret Atwood. Essentially, it's been a massive economic downturn. The main characters have lost their jobs. They move in to a scheme where for 6 months of the year they are prisoners in a prison. The other 6 months of the year they have normal jobs, they live their life, they've got everything catered for them, and it's about how that affects relationships, what that means, whether it's a viable system, just tons of really interesting things. And I'm about halfway through this at the minute, and I'm really enjoying it. Clever, bit different, and I think it's one that'll do really well. It's Margaret Atwood, it's always going to, but it's just one that's really interesting as well. Even if you don't know anything about Margaret Atwood, I think you'd enjoy this. So that's it. That is all I've bought in the past 2 or 3 months, which I think is incredible. And I'm really pleased with myself. I've caught up on quite a lot of this stuff I've not read, and all the stuff I've bought is stuff I know that I'm really going to enjoy reading, I'm really excited about, and it should be really interesting to read all this stuff. As always, I am looking for more suggestions. I'm going travelling in a few weeks, and I want some things to get on my Kindle. So ideally, books that aren't particularly pretty, they're not part of a series, are just easy to read. Let me know what I should get. I've got a few ideas, but I'm always open to more, and especially for this situation, I want to make sure I've got something good, and your recommendations are always brilliant for that, so let me know. Other than that, if you've got any feedback on the new camera, the new setup, anything like that, again, let me know. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment, subscribe, etc. All that normal stuff. It's really appreciated. I'm getting inching closer to 200 subscribers. I'm really excited about that as well. But other than that, thanks for watching. Really interesting books, I think. I definitely advise some of you read some of these because there's some amazing stuff, but I know there's stuff there that some of you will have read anyway. And other than that, I'll be back in the next couple of days with a slightly different video that I think you're going to really enjoy.